Well, that was a very dark chapter of Boku no Hero Academia. The panels with All Might, seeing him injured, pushing himself after his big injury that caused his slow descent of losing all of his power and becoming what he is now. It's really jarring when you see that, how he continued to push himself and how he sacrificed his own body to be able to continue to save others. That, damn. When you see that image in this chapter, I couldn't help but imagine Izuku and what he was doing in the earlier portions of Boku no Hero Academia. Once again, I want to point out that Izuku, he's been shown to constantly use his power, break his body down, but he would continue fighting through the pain even if his body was kind of destroyed. He would continue to fight. And seeing All Might in this chapter, you see a lot of similarities. You see how Izuku is very much like All Might. All Might, even though his body was torn down, he should have just stopped right then and there. He's like, I can't wait. How many, people will die? How many people will get injured or hurt when me stepping down and all that? There will always be another villain that steps out of the shadows that is like, all for one. We need to do something now. And All Might took that upon himself, that great burden, to stand up and fight, even though he was a dying symbol. And when you see that, you're like, holy shit, this is kind of what Izuku is doing. How this man was constantly hurting his own body to do certain things, and now he's learning not to do that, but still, it's just like, it's crazy when you see that comparison. But what's even sadder is seeing a man that's desperate. He's down in the dumps, and he's really upset. Like, you could see the way All Might expresses himself in the flashback, that he truly knew what was happening. He was aware. He was aware that it was the end. But he didn't give up because how much he cared for others, how he was the symbol of peace, how he was this hero, All Might, that had to save others. He didn't give up, even though he knew it was over. He continued pressing forward till the last very moment before he could do anything he possibly could do. And it's sad when you see that image in this chapter, how he was just leaning up against the wall, he's pushing himself and all that, just trying to move, and you see Sir Night-Eye just coming up. It's like, oh my, you gotta stop this, like, you gotta stop this, you need to do this, like, you can't do this. And they had just have a clash of ideals, and how, Sir Night-Eye's thinking of, All Might's, like, health and all that, but, All Might's, like, thinking of everyone else. He's thinking of everyone else in the world, in disregarding his own self, his own life, and own health in general. I'm like, damn, just seeing that, the clash of ideals and how they're viewing their lives and all that, weighing lives, I'm like, it's really sad. But then, what Night-Eye said was even sadder. Apparently, from what I understood from this chapter, my interpretation of it is that All Might will reach a gruesome end. And that gruesome end is not the end that was what All for One did for him. Apparently, from whatever Night-Eye stated, was that an end is coming for All Might. That this man will die. You remember how All Might is being covered in death flags constantly? Like, constantly. And it looked like he finally negated that death flag because of the fight with All for One. Well, you remember how I talked about I feared that the aftermath of this would be very bad? Because what are villains going to do when they find out that the symbol of peace has fallen from power and he's weak now? Obviously, regardless if he has no abilities or whatever, they're going to want to take out their aggression on All Might. So, obviously, if they ever see All Might in his weakened state, villains are going to attack him. There's no question about that. That's going to happen. That will definitely happen. And because of what Sir Night-Eye said, he will meet a gruesome end. I have a very bad feeling that All Might is going to die just like I thought he was going to die. For instance, he's going to die a death to where he can't do anything. He probably can't fight back. He's weak because he no longer has his quirk ability. I could definitely see that happening now, just because of what Sir Night-Eye said. He got to see it. He knows. Maybe that might explain why he's so interested in diving into, Overhaul and stuff. Maybe it has a correlation to that. But still, it's kind of shocking when you think about it and all that, how Sir Night-Eye was able to see All Might's future. And from my understanding, I didn't think Sir Night-Eye could see that far into the future, but apparently he can, because of what he said about All Might, how he saw his conclusion, his gruesome end, and his predictions turned out to be true so far from what we have seen, and All Might even is aware of this as well. So I'm kind of curious exactly where that's going to go. But regardless of that, though, let's just talk about All Might's stance and how he chose Izuku. This is probably something that, honestly, caught me by surprise, but at the same time had me saying, I fucking love this series even more now. You know how shonen series, they write your, characters and stuff, like in shonen series, you have a written shonen character that is gifted, he's a character that, is given everything, he is the chosen one. You are the chosen one! You're the one that's gifted all this power! Pretty much something like that you would see in a shonen. Someone that has, like, all these abilities, something that is completely different from everyone else, like, they are legit the chosen one. Since the very dawn of their birth, they were, fought to have this. They were to have this. They were the chosen one. They were destined to be what they are. For instance, destiny. And that's kind of something you constantly see in shonen. And, well, with this chapter, it is revealed that what happened to Izuku wasn't destiny. It was actually just dumb luck. At the right place, at the right time. And that's how Izuku managed to get his quirk ability, which is One for All. And that's gonna fuck with Izuku's head for a moment, because, number one, his idol, All Might, revealed how he felt, but also revealed how he eventually came to, discover Izuku, and then chose Izuku, and gave Izuku this power. Izuku wasn't chosen because he was better over anyone else. No, he was chosen because he was just at the right place, at the right time. And honestly, All Might didn't get to see Togata. He didn't get to meet him and see what type of hero he was, and so he chose Izuku. And that's going to mess with Izuku. It's going to mess with him to where he's going to be thinking, like, should I honestly have this power? Do I deserve to be the next symbol? Do I deserve to have this strong ability that All Might passed on to me? As his successor, do I deserve this? He's going to be thinking that. He's going to be constantly thinking, like, should it have been someone else? Should it have been Togata? And this is kind of what Sir Night-Eye wanted in the first place. Remember, he's like, maybe you could change the abilities over to someone else. For instance, maybe you can give it to Togata, and maybe that's what's going to happen here. Izuku is going to be through some form of conflict where he might give it to Togata and give it up completely, which would be kind of crazy if that does happen. So, when you look at it like this, I'm like, damn, like, what All Might said, it needed to be said. Like, Izuku needed to know the truth, but at the same time, though, this is gonna mess with Izuku, because he's gonna be thinking that now. He's gonna be thinking, like, I was just lucky. It wasn't because I was special. It wasn't because All Might saw me above everyone else or anything. It was just luck. So, I feel bad, but at the same time, this is going to add some very good development for Izuku's character in the direction it's going to go from this point onward. So, yeah, I mean, it was a great chapter. I like what this chapter tried to showcase with All Might. It tried to showcase with Sir Night-Eye, and how Sir Night-Eye really does care about All Might quite a bit. And also how Izuku as well, he wants to know the answers. He doesn't want to be kept in the dark anymore. Even if he must face the truth and be sad, he wants to face the truth and all that. He wants to face that darkness. And I respect that too from Izuku, how he doesn't want to remain in the darkness and not know what's really going on. He doesn't want to, like, just be constantly guessing, like, okay, so what's going on here? Why is this? Like, who knows about All Might and who doesn't? Izuku wanting to know these questions, it makes sense. And I'm glad he finally confronted All Might about this, and All Might was like, you know what? I'll just tell you. And he told Izuku like it was. So, yeah. I mean, the chapter surprised me. I didn't think I would get a flashback to All Might and just that grim outlook on how he was in the past and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about everything that happened? How do you feel about maybe All Might going to be dying very soon? I mean, we thought it was probably already over. We were smooth sailing, but seems like that's going to happen. All Might might actually end up dying very soon because of the premonition that, Sir Night-Eye said. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.